Real quick, how is you calling Ed non-binary any different from a doctor assigning a gender to a baby by looking at its genitalia? Apart from the fact that your assigning is based on pure speculation and the assumption that if a girl differs in any way from the most extreme example of a trad wife, that must mean that they're in some way trans, while the doctor's assigning is based on, science. Also, how is you denying Ed's womanhood by calling her non-binary any different from any transphobe denying a trans person their transness? Also, isn't that sort of an attack on the whole idea of self-ID? Ed self-identifies as a girl, you say, no lol, you non-binary. Kinda transphobic, my guy. Also, returning to the first part kinda, I don't think I've seen anything in my entire life more patriarchal and tradcon-esque than saying to a girl, or about a girl, that if they aren't feminine enough, then they're not a girl. Also, fuck you! Your headcanon, your fanfiction, your AUs mean absolute shit. But that's for a whole other video, isn't it? Also, of course, I'm not just talking about Ed here. This here video is very inclusive. What I've said here includes every single fictional character and real-life person that has been subject to this BS. Switching gears a little here, but trust me, it's relevant. How do we know that a square is a square? Well, because of the intrinsic properties that it must have for it to be a square. Two-dimensional shape with 4 corners and 4 sides does a square make. You look at the square and say, that's a square, and you'd be correct. But if one day a square says to you that it's a triangle, then you'd obviously go, no, you're a square. Because two-dimensional shape with 4 corners and 4 sides does not a triangle make. Now, some people are going to hear that paragraph as me describing my position on this topic, but I'm actually not. I'm describing yours. If you're the kind of person who'd claim that Ed, or any other fictional or non-fictional character / person, is non-binary, even if it's explicitly stated that they're not, by saying Ed is non-binary when Ed says she's a girl, you're saying that a square is a square and not a triangle. You're saying that things have definitions. And in this case, you are saying that genders have definitions, because you can point to characteristics of Ed and say non-binary. This must mean that genders have definitions, that you must fit to be able to call yourself that gender. And that flies directly in the face of the entire concept of self-ID. The idea that, well, I am X gender just because I say so. In fact, I didn't even have to go through all that BS, because like I said earlier, Ed self-IDs herself as a girl, and you retards just go, lol, no, non-binary. You don't get to bang on and on about how other people can't arbitrarily categorize and label you, and then turn around and arbitrarily categorize and label other people. And I feel the need to point out again, because someone will intentionally misinterpret what I say so that they can in the comments and call me an istophobe. I have not actually stated any of my actual positions on this topic. All I have done is taken other people's positions and applied a healthy dose of logic. But if you want my position, I guess to put it simply, fuck you. Ed is a girl. Stop trying to change other people's characters. If you think you can do better, then prove it and write your own fucking book, comic, anime, show, etc. Also, stop trying to convince real-life people that they're trans just because they're kind of different to whatever this nebulous norm is that people keep banging on about. Stop calling tomboys and femboys eggs, you fucking groomers. And I feel the need to point out and say very clearly that the groomers, political crazies, and scum-sucking creeps that I'm referring to do not represent the trans population. And I say population because it's not a community, but that's for a whole other video as well. If you think all trans people are groomers who are coming for your kids, you're fucking insane. Touch grass, you greasy nitwit. And if you say that what I just talked about doesn't happen, then you're clearly either extremely sheltered and precious and uncorrupted by the world and must be protected at all costs, or you're fucking stupid. Or you're one of the groomers, in which case, fuck you, die in a fire. That is all. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. It feels good to get this off my chest. Go like if you like, dislike if you disliked it, comment about how evil and terrible I am, or leave a snarky remark about how I apparently don't know what I'm talking about and then don't explain how, yada yada yada. You know, the usual. Follow the Instagram and Twitter. See you next time.